Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Find Out What's in Pelenta's Forest. Grab yourself a glass of water or a cup of tea and spend the next few minutes with me. And like I always tell you, don't believe everything you hear on my show. My goodness, check your facts and do your own research. And as soon as those butterflies bring us in, you know what's going to happen? Don't you want to know what my butterflies are saying? Don't you want to know why my butterflies are talking? I am Pelenta, and this is my Forrest. I am Pelenta Forrest, and welcome. Yes. I know. I'm way too dramatic. Yes, I'm dramatic. Well, hello. Lots and lots of news to talk to you about this evening. Lots of cool stuff to share. Well, actually, kind of starting off on a little bit, well, not a little bit, but a big sad note. Because you guys remember the young kid, I forgot his name, I apologize, but he was the main star, Alpha Dog, with Justin Timberlake. Remember they killed the kid, and Sharon Stone was the mom that went crazy, and then he was in Star Trek as Chekhov. Well, there was a horrible accident where his somehow his vehicle ended up in neutral, and he was found pinned between his fence and his mailbox, his brick mailbox. So unfortunately, he is another person in the entertainment business that has passed away, which leads me to go into these couple of articles about vehicles being recalled and the dangers of some of the mechanisms that are killing us. Not just stars, but us regular people down here that are also stars. So listen at this article. Nissan recalls 80,000 SUVs. Nissan is recalling nearly 80,000 Pathfinder SUVs in the U.S. because the brake lights can stay on even when the driver isn't stopping. Now, it's saying nearly 8,000, which means that it's probably more like 100,000. But they gotta give you a number. And I'm not dogging out Nissan, because the bottom line is, people, there's gonna be defects in everything. It's just like with the Cavaliers playing Golden State Warriors the other night. It's a great game. LeBron James, hats off to you. They won. And people that are GSW fans, they're all upset. I can't believe we lost. I can't believe we lost. Well, come on, people. Everybody can't win. Somebody has to lose. The only way somebody's going to win is if somebody loses. You know, and it's the same thing with manufacturing cars and vehicles. Every single vehicle is not going to be perfect. Some of those vehicles are going to be defective. Even if your engineers are inspecting like they're supposed to, and they're actually doing their job properly, there's still going to be some faulty something where these vehicles are gonna mess up. So anyway, the recall covers Pathfinders from the year of 2013 and 14, and the company said that a brake light switch was installed. It was installed incorrectly, and the company also says that the switch might cause the brake shift interlock to fail. That could allow drivers to leave the SUV when the transmission isn't in park, which is increasing the risk of a rollaway accident. That's just what happened to this young man. So as of now, there hasn't been any crashes or injuries, reported, but the dealers will inspect the switch. I have a Ford Explorer, and I think maybe back in 2013, I got a recall notice, and I was not happy about it because I'm driving around and I got a recall notice, and come to find out, there was a little fuel pipeline, whatever you want to call it, goes underneath, the engine. And it said that if I had stopped too hard or just bumped something, then the whole front of my car would have just went poof. So, I took it up to Senator Ford, wherever, and they fixed it for me. But, everything that's made isn't always made perfect. And people make mistakes. People make mistakes. That's just the way it is. Now, here's some more car news about Takata. At least 4 automakers, and I'm going to name them here for you: Toyota, Volkswagen, Fiat, Chrysler, and Mitsubishi are continuing to sell their new vehicles with defective Takata airbags. Now, let me ask you, what sense does that make? What sense does that make? Now, I gotta say, here you have Nissan. They're doing the right thing. They copped to it. They're eating some crow right now. They said, look, people, we just found out. We made a mistake. We apologized. We're trying to make it right. We installed something incorrectly. Here is your letter. Get down to the Nissan dealer and, I don't know if they actually said they'll fix it for you for free. Like I said, check your facts. Don't believe everything I say. But they sent out a letter and said, okay, look, we installed this incorrectly. We apologize. Here's the letter. Get your butt down to Nissan and we'll fix it for you for free, so there isn't any injuries or any accidents. And then you got these fools that just pretty much said, we don't care. If you get into an accident, that shrapnel in that airbag is just going to come flying at your face at 165 miles an hour. And if you miss your lip or a piece of your nose goes flying, oh well, sue us. Big deal. Because we're making more money than what you can sue us for anyway. That's a nasty attitude to have. Okay? So it goes on to say that I guess it's just ridiculous. They're still selling cars with these faulty Takata airbags. So it's not really much sense in me reading the rest of the article because the point has already been taken. What more can they say? They're still selling the cars with the Takata airbags. And not to mention, they're selling the new cars. It's not like they have the old cars, the used cars, at a used car lot. These are new cars, new vehicles that they're putting out with the faulty Takata airbags. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So, and I always like to tell you about really cool medical news because I like the medical inventions and the positive progress we're making to help all of our people get past illness and disease and things like that. And this is really cool because I don't remember what episode it was, but it was the one where the monkeys were on the cover, and I think it said something like estradiol was good for brain health and things like that. Well, listen to this. Extending estrogen suppressor may aid in breast cancer fight. So women with early stage breast cancer could benefit from taking an estrogen suppressing drug for 10 years or more. Now this to me sounds like preventative maintenance because you're not just going to be taking estrogen for the heck of it. This is probably more so geared toward, women that have had, possibly hysterectomies and things like that. And, also, too, you remember a couple of years ago, or maybe more than that, when Angelina Jolie, she's got that cancer gene, in her body or whatever, and then she went on to have her breast removed, and then she felt the need to come out and tell the world about it. And then, of course, so many people love, follow, and respect her. They wanted to copy her. And, but she's got the money to do that kind of stuff, and, nipple reconstruction and all that. Well, a doctor came out on the news the other day and said, you know what? Do not follow her lead, because removing your breast, trying to prevent yourself from getting breast cancer, is the wrong thing to do. And of course, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, seriously, think about it. You remove your breast because you don't want to get breast cancer. Well, what if the cancer decides to go someplace else? Now you don't have breast cancer, but you have toe cancer. So what are you going to do? Remove your toes? I mean, before you know it, you're removing every part of your body so you can get around the cancer. Sometimes taking a detour is still not going to keep you off the dangerous road that is leading to the forest fire. I'm just saying. Like I always say, critical thinking, people, you got to start using your brains and keep using your brain cells. That's what you have a brain for, And I've been talking a little bit lately about these inmates that feel like they have rights, which I know that's messed up, because everybody that is in prison or in jail isn't in there for something horribly heinous that they've done. So, yes, even though you're a criminal and you're in jail, you have rights. But what makes me mad is, you have these people that have committed just ridiculous crimes, and then you go to jail and you get treated better in jail than we get treated out here. Out here, we have to pay to read the newspaper. We have to pay for our food. We have to pay to go to the gym. We have to pay to watch TV. We have to pay, if we have to pay for everything. And then we also have to pay for the people that are in jail. So here we go again. I just told you about the guy in Guantanamo Bay that's convicted of all these war crimes going back to 9/11. And now he's screaming that they're torturing him by banging and banging and banging and all this kind of stuff. And he's getting an attorney and he's starting some mess. Well, here we go again. Lawsuit alleges abuse of disabled jailmates. A lawsuit filed late Wednesday in Sacramento federal court alleges horrific civil rights abuses of disabled inmates in the Shasta County Jail. The suit also alleges retaliation by sheriff office staff against disabled inmates who complain about the absence of facilities that should be accessed by them. So they're being, their medication is being withheld. They're not getting toilet paper to wipe their butt. They're complaining about that. They're speaking out about cavity searches being taken to the extreme. Their requests are being ignored. They're not sleeping properly. They're getting denied showers and all kinds of things, which honestly, I have to admit, even though they're in jail, I do think that it's kind of messed up that they're getting treated like crap. But what's that song? Who was that show? Beretta? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Remember, keep your eye on the sparrow. Yeah. I know, I'm a hot mess. Anyway, moving right along. This is something I want to talk about here. Now listen, we've been talking about the Zika virus. And Colombia has been infected with 5 infant cases of the Zika virus. Well, listen to this story. It says Colombia authorities report 5 babies in the country this year have been associated with the rapidly spreading Zika virus. Now, the National Health Institute also said that there have actually been, listen to this, hold on, check this out. There have actually been 4,000 197 confirmed cases of the Zika virus this year. And it's mosquito-borne. Now, they're saying that it has not been reported yet in the United States. All right, well, let me tell you a little story. And you're probably wondering why I'm always talking about what's happening in China and Russia and all this. Well, first of all, because it's important. It's other countries, but it's still in the world. We live in this world together. You know, first of all, you got all these cases of Zika. Well, you know what happens when you go outside? The wind blows. The wind is blowing. Now, I'm going to give you an example here and just try to follow along. So I'm at a friend's house, okay? And we're in the backyard. And there's this great big pot back there. And I see this beautiful plant that I've never seen before. So I said, oh, wow, that's really pretty. What is that? And he says, I don't know. It just showed up one day and I started watering it. And I looked at him and I said, are you kidding me? You don't know what that is? So you know what? When the wind blows, little particles that are in the wind blow with it. So you know what happened? Sometime while it was windy, it picked up some little seeds from somewhere, and those seeds landed in that pot. It rained a little bit, it got windy again, and the dirt came and covered it up. And then it got warm, wet, dry, moist, and before you know it, then this plant was going, oh, 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 let me out. I want to breathe. That's the same darn thing that happens with germs and illness and virus. So if you think that Zika is going to be nice and just stay in its little cubby space in Colombia, no, it's on its way. It's on its way because it's coming in mosquitoes. It's just ridiculous. The wind blows, people. Remember what happened with Fukushima? The wind blows. And when the wind blows, it brings stuff with it. So, you know, I mean, I don't know how they're going to stop it. But it's just crazy. But anyway, I want to tell you about this, which is really cool, and then I'm going to call it quits for the evening. But investors pour funds into medieval city's bizarre beer pipeline. Now, if you're a drinker, this is the story for you. And this is in Belgium. Now, the idea may seem mad, but after all, the beer is called Mad Man of Burgess. Now, with the help of crowdfunding efforts among some of 400 Mad Men fans, they are going to build a pipeline that is going to pump beer from here to there. So look that up, because can you imagine if you had a pipeline going from, let's see, I don't think we still have Sunworks here, but just imagine Sacramento, California brewery. You have a little pipeline, and that pipeline just comes right to your backyard. 2 a.m, you feel like having a beer, you just go outside, crack open that kegger, get yourself a nice beer mug of beer, fresh, right from the pipeline in your own backyard. How cool is that? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for this evening. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Many more shows to come. Go to my website, buy my book, Angels Passing Through. It is available everywhere. And we are going to get ourselves out of here with my favorite song, One Love. I am so very grateful for everything. I'm grateful for you too. Thank you so much for watching. Find out what's in Pelenta's Forrest. God bless you and good night.